Hi and welcome to It's a Crime. I'm Linda, and today we're going to be talking about Shane Carey's latest interview and his thoughts on Magen, as well as my thoughts and questions about this whole thing. So a few days ago, Shane Carey was interviewed and talked about both Heidi and Magen. And here's what he said about their relationship. He said, and I quote, "Heidi loved Magen. I mean, like, they had a great relationship, like I went over it in my head and about 1,000 times. Like I should have been there, I should have noticed something." That's his quote. Then, when he was asked about Magen's pregnancy, he said pretty much that at the same time, Magen had announced that she had the same date as Heidi and that he just never questioned it. He also went on to say that they were planning and they were talking about how we can try and have the baby at the same day and all of that. And Shane said that both of them were super excited about the whole thing. And I can see, like, they're two best friends. They're both pregnant at the same time. They're sharing everything together. They're talking about everything. So I'm curious if when Heidi did an ultrasound, she shared it with Magen, and if Magen had an ultrasound, what she did to share it with Heidi, or if she made something up, or if she did it all. Now, as I mentioned in a previous video, Magen was actually there for the birth of baby Margo. And in that recent interview, Shane said Magen came down, she was the first one down, she was there the whole entire time. And that night, Heidi and Shane gave Magen a key back to their apartment because she was from out of town, and they gave it to her. You can stay there, and Magen stayed there till the next day. Now, Shane mentions that after Heidi's disappearance, he talked to Magen on the phone, and he asked her if she has heard anything from Heidi. And Magen said no and started crying on the phone, and Shane said she played it so well. And that's exactly what Tim Miller said, because Tim Miller from EquiSearch said he talked to Magen for 45 minutes, and he said she played it like a fiddle. Like, he said that she duped him. She also mentioned to him that she was implying that Shane was all part of this, or that he was the one who did this all. And I'm wondering if she had another plan for him, but that got botched. She was quite the little busy beaver, running around and making phone calls and typing searches and talking to everybody that she could to make sure that she doesn't look like she's the suspect. Shane also said in his interview, he said, if you know Heidi, she would not leave like this. She would not leave. She would tell a friend, or she would tell somebody. And that's pretty much the consensus with a lot of people she knows, which we already know at this point. But so then December 12th, she gets kidnapped. And according to surveillance cameras and the affidavit, her car drives up, and then Heidi and the baby go walking towards the car. They said Magen gets out of the passenger seat, or it was stated that the person who saw this woman get out of the passenger seat is 60 to 70% sure that it's actually Magen. So she gets out of the passenger seat, goes towards the back, helps Heidi and Margo get into the back, and then the affidavit said then the two doors close and the car drives away. It implies that there's another driver, but it doesn't state it in there that there's another driver. So I would love to know if the witness watched this the whole duration, or just, was going by the window, saw this happening, went to a different room, came back, and then saw the car was gone. That would be important, because obviously there could be somebody else. At the same time, if Heidi is coming down with Margo, Magen would want to make sure, or it seems like Magen would want to make sure, that she gets in the back seat, and maybe that's why she's in the passenger seat. She wants to see her coming, make sure she hops out and guides her into the back seat. This is just a guesstimate for me, my opinion, maybe. Or, if she was driving, why wouldn't Heidi just get into the passenger seat unless she was putting Margo in and something happened and she just drove away? We don't know yet. So then that night, there was a search by Magen at 10:31 p.m. on December 12th, and it was for, quote-unquote, reason for an Amber Alert. And at that time, there was no Amber Alert even issued. The other thing I'm starting to think is, okay, she kidnaps Margo and Heidi. That's the 12th. On December 13th, it was stated that she was in the house with Christopher Green in Houston and said, "Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. I gave birth yesterday at a birthing center and there's a baby on the bed." So my thought is, how long has Christopher been at the house? Was he away or was he just home on the 13th? Because if you think about in her mind, okay, she has to go get the baby, right? And then she has to make up the story to go to the birthing center and then that she came home. But she told authorities she was home on December 12th. But was she? Because we know December 13th, she said to Christopher, "Oh, don't be mad. I just miraculously had this miracle baby and here she is on the bed." So I started thinking, well, where is Magen at that point? Do they know if she came back to Houston that same day or didn't she? We know on the 13th she was, but where was she on the 12th? Prove it. And then the next day on the 14th is what really, really, really bothers me. She searched for, quote unquote, bodies found Austin, Texas. Why would she be searching for bodies found in Austin, Texas, if she's in Houston? Did she do something to Heidi and dump her in Austin? Or did she do something if there was a driver? I just keep thinking, did she do something to Heidi and then come back and get her? Because the reason why I think that is the 12th she steals the baby. The 13th she's home telling Christopher she had a baby. And then on the 14th, she's searching for bodies found. Now, she can't bring Heidi home to show the baby and pull it off as hers to Christopher if she has Heidi there or if he finds her somehow, right? So that makes me start thinking, where did she stay if she stayed in Austin for the night or the day? Or did she put Heidi somewhere? That just really has been bugging me. I'm sure if it's bugging you too, put something in the comments below and let's chat. And the other thing is, how the heck did she put Heidi in that car if she did dump her and then had to pick her up again? That is dead weight. There's no way. And even if Heidi was alive, she'd be kicking and screaming. Shane did mention, he said, "This makes me angry. These beautiful kids don't deserve this. She didn't deserve it." He was also asked, how do you feel that no one has been charged with her murder? And he says, "I don't understand this at all." Now, Nancy Grace said that police could be waiting for all the facts and evidence before they make a murder charge. And then Shane was asked, do you believe Magen's responsible? And Shane said, "I believe so, or somebody talked her into it." And I was just thinking, like, who could that be? I mean, probably isn't Christopher. He's already separated from her, and I'm sure a separated person isn't going to encourage somebody to go steal a baby. That's just my thoughts. And you know what I would like to know is when she said that she went to the beach with her cousin that day, I'd be like, great, what's the cousin's name and where does she live or he live? And find that out. I mean, how is she going to get away with that one? Oh, did he or she miraculously go to the birthing center too as well and help out with the birth of the baby and then magically disappear? Like, I don't know. She had some loopholes to her story, even though she claims she's innocent. Okay, we move on. Shane also said about Magen, Heidi is so strong, there's no way Magen could have taken her down by herself. Now, I want to just touch on her mental state, not too much, but just a little bit, because I think this is a gift in that a previous lawyer said that he had 8 or 9 different dealings with her when they were dealing with the theft case. And he said at no time was he concerned about her mental health. So that is wonderful because I think that's going to hinder Magen from her shenanigans. And also I was watching Scott Reich, the lawyer YouTuber, and he was talking about, you know, if she pleads insanity or if a person pleads insanity or anything like that, it's not like they get off scot-free. They're going to have to go into a mental facility and they try and rehabilitate them or get them so that they are in a good mental state to continue. So there's that. We don't have to worry about that too much. And I mean, yeah, maybe there's some crazy things going on. The lawyer did say that Magen didn't have a criminal record before. except now with all these traffic charges and the theft, I think since 2018, I believe it's been kind of going down the slippery slope. But just because somebody has stolen or has traffic violations, or sorry, vehicle violations and whatnot, doesn't mean that they're mentally unstable. So obviously what she did isn't right and is something screw loose there, but it doesn't mean that she's insane. She plotted the whole thing. She could have known exactly what she was doing. And for her to say she, oh, I didn't do it, maybe she's right. Maybe she didn't actually do it, but the person beside her did, and she facilitated it. So we will find out very soon, hopefully soon anyways. Basically, my thoughts is Magen has taken away a future of a beautiful young woman. Her kids are going to have a very different future, and so is her friends and family, and of course Shane. So I'll leave it at that. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Click that like button if you want more videos coming at you, because I have a lot to say. And thank you so much for watching. See you soon.